Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. We are live here for the third race of my F2 championship, the road to Formula One. And we are at for the third round of the season. We're going to Imola. And like I said, first things first, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you watch on YouTube, I'm also live on Twitch as well, so give me a follow on there as well. As we head to Imola, good preparation for this week ahead. Obviously, we got the sim play season coming up as well, and that's at Imola in the Lamborghini for sim play racing. And what can we do here in the F2 cars as we get ourselves back underway? 14 rounds to go in total, and we're at round 3. Obviously, we've extended the sessions, we've made them longer. Practice session looks wet, but we got the sprint and the feature as well. So it should be a good night's worth of racing. I do like Imola, very, very famous circuit, probably one of my all-time favorites. And yeah, let's see how we get on this evening. Like I said, it's been a while really since I've kind of threw some time into F2, so yeah, a bit something different, something for you guys to enjoy. So I said full session tonight, full practice session, and yeah, away we go. Yeah, we'll have a slight practice session just so we can get ourselves back underneath the car and raring to go. So let's get things underway. And look at that lovely wet weather. Probably going to be a pointless session because most of it looks dry for the rest of the session. And I'm just making sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. But this should be fun. Give me 2 seconds. Perfect, we are looking good, we're sounding good, and we're going to hit the track in a few moments time. So it is a wet session, again kind of pointless going out, but we'll do a couple of laps and see what we can do in the wet in these lovely F2 cars. Kind of tricky to drive, they're a bit understeery on the front, but yeah, we will go with the standard wet setup, I think. We'll leave the wets on and let's see how we get on at Imola. So guys, like I said, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. If you follow me on Twitch, give me a follow as well as we take a lap. I'll do a couple of laps around Imola.
Take it easy to start with, the track's very wet.
Reminder as well, the whole point in this series is we are driving for Carlin, and the idea is we are trying to get to Formula One as quickly as we possibly can. And better way to do so than prove ourselves in F2. And here are a very wet Imola. And I'm looking to try and get a signing with AlphaTauri, but it's all about, let's get some track knowledge, let's get some running on the board. As we have a very wet, oh, wrong button. Already forgetting my buttons. And not a lot of traction by the feel of things. Oh, we missed turn one quite badly there. It's really qualifying where we're really going to see what we can do in the dry conditions. I thought I'd get out, get on track, just see what we could do. And yeah, these wets not got a lot of grip. I will try and remember these corners' names as best I can. Most of them I can't remember off the top of my head. We've already done a couple of laps in the sim play lobby, getting some laps together for the Lamborghini. Luckily it's dry this week. really didn't go over track limits there, but okay. Of course, I've changed it to strict now. So track limits are going to be ruthless. I'm guessing it's white lines is going to be the limit. Not like in ACC where you can pretty much abuse the entire curb. But we have managed to survive around the track. The rest look like they're not coming out at all. Brake a lot earlier this time into Tamburello. It's all just learning the track again. Even though it is wet, it's still good to get the mind working again and remembering how the circuit runs. Let's come up to the far end of the circuit. Now we're getting some grit. Oh God, I say that. And the rear wants to kill me. Nope, not gonna make it, not gonna make it. Forgot we're not in a dry session and completely missed my brakes. It's not wanting to stop again. I'm trying to train myself not to use the racing line. It's been something I've used always on Formula One. And it kind of annoys me that I do use it when some of the quick guys don't. So it's a skill I'm relearning. I could do it in ACC, no problem. But on Formula One, I don't know why, rely on the braking points, I guess. So go through turn 1 and 2 and 3. Oh God. We turn into Villeneuve and try and get a good exit. Head up towards the hairpin. Like I said, this wet session is kind of pointless because we do expect the rest of the session to be dry. The sprint and the feature looks bone dry. So this is just all kind of getting confidence in the car. And I've made the AI a lot more difficult for me as well, so it's not going to be too easy for us. We're down in the first and second sector. We finally nailed the final sector and we come towards the start finish line. We go fastest so far. Is that 1.7 faster at the minute? We're just learning the grips. LOPN in the chat. And we've missed our brakes again. Somehow managed to keep level with our time. And just never really had to concentrate so much on a lap. Good old wet Imola. Had a much better run through there. And we've improved in the middle sector. If we'd kept that first sector, we'd have been looking good for this lap. We come down to the final sector. Gone for braking a bit earlier this time, just to not overcook it into the final couple of corners. We're still second at the minute. And we've gone faster. As I said, just building that confidence, getting quicker and quicker each lap. Remembering to brake at the right point. Not like that. Ooh. I've got to remember not to brake at the 50 board, because that's what's hurting me right now. I think that's Matthew 412. Nice to see you in the chat, buddy. Oh God. And I've just invalidated my lap trying to read your message. Again, it's nothing. We're not too worried about this session. It's just wet. The rest of the session shouldn't be like this.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. You're doing well.
So there we go. There's the call that it's going to eventually dry out in 10 minutes. So we'll just keep going around, doing laps. Are we all excited for the new season coming ahead on Saturday? I'm definitely looking forward to Bahrain. It's going to be a fun race on a Saturday as well, just to throw the spanners out there as well. Nearly caught me out. Oh, a bit messy in the first sector there, but we managed to gain control. Try and get Villeneuve right. And we have gone purple in the first sector now. And where all that time is lost in the hairpin, we've got back that second we found just by being a bit tighter, a bit earlier on the brakes. Horrible understeer through there, and too much throttle response there, so a bit too drastic on everything. Oh, I knew we're not going to make that corner. The brakes on these aren't brilliant, especially in the wet. They just seem to not want to work, but I don't know if that's my pedal as well, just because I've got an old Logitech G29, probably doesn't help. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button in my video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, then please give me a follow. There is a donate button and a donate link on both channels in my description. And I'll try and give you some more. Oh God, no. Give you some more interesting action like that. Oh God, rear's not happy. I think we might come into the pits this lap. It's all well and good running in the wet, but we know it's going to dry out. We know it's going to be a dry weekend. So all this wet running is kind of pointless. But we do need to clear the water, so that's the other job we're doing right now. We're just out kind of clearing the water. Just nice touch on the throttle, on the brakes. Nice and finesse. Obviously, with not long left to the season, who do we think is looking good for Bahrain? Obviously, you've got to look at Red Bull, probably the favourites at the minute. Ferrari look like they've made progression and changes, so does McLaren. Aston kind of understood their car. I think it's all kind of close in the midfield now. It's who's going to be the best of the rest behind Red Bull, to be honest, in my opinion. We are going to improve this lap. I was going to go in the pits, but not quite. We've gone purple sector 2 and 3. It's just me messing up the brakes into turn 1. Yes, I like abusing curbs. Curb's very slippery. Very, very slippery. I think I got a bit too deep again. Oh, no, we've recovered it. Lost time now. Oh, a bit too much on the curb. We're still in bounds though, so we're still up. Are we going to go purple? No, we've gone green. Not purple, as we try and negotiate our way through this really tricky chicane. We've had a good exit there. Oh, these guys are improving at 40.5. That's why we've not gone purple. Oh, release the brakes, release the brakes. Come. Oh, really? This and the next lap. Just the track limit sometimes on this game is ridiculous. And the car just won't stop at all, not even in the wet. It's ridiculous. So I might let the boys do all the work. Right, so I don't have to just go straight to qualifying and just, you know, go with that and just see what we can do. Yeah. If we go straight into qualifying, then we can kind of get a better idea of the dry conditions. Okay, so session. Can we fast forward it a little bit? I want to do some dry running, I guess. I'm fastest in the final sector. Let's. Well, to me that looks like it stopped raining. It looks like it stopped. Track's getting busier, so it's still wet. It's got to be. I don't feel like those. Was it the R&Ds really do anything in F2? Probably more so for Formula One, but that's probably what they're wanting. Not sure what to do now for a minute. I mean, I want the practice, I want the laps, but yeah. Sorry guys, just currently doing a post right now. Do, 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 do. Right. It's still very wet. Look at the conditions out there. I think we might go back out, do a couple more laps, just to get an understanding of what we're dealing with. Right, okay, let's go out on this track. A little bit wetter by the looks of things.
When you're ready, let's go.
No, less wet, that's what I meant to say. Does look like the weather has eased off ever so slightly. Try not to get away with these cars coming. Bestie getting quite close to me. We got no tire temperature whatsoever, I don't think. Nope. Come on, car. Get some temperature. Don't run wide like that. What a helmet. I've got another car coming flying up behind me. I'm not even going to attempt to try and say that name. Dragavola? No idea. Yeah, it's definitely getting... The conditions are definitely getting better because I can feel the car responding a bit better, even with worn tyres, so let's see how we go. Lap time should be improving each time. We were a little bit light on the brake pressure going in, I think. A lot of curb. So 40.3 now. We're currently not near that. Sector 1, we're down on our best anyway. Let me try and keep the grip. It's ironic how it's Imola this week because I needed to get a bit of practice and testing in ready for the sim play race this week. Not quite the practice I would have thought in an F2 car. But we've gone purple middle sector. That's what we like to see. Trying to stay within the white lines. Do we go fastest? No, we've only gone 7th, but we're only a 10th off at the minute, so we're gaining the confidence back. We validated our lap time again. I just can't judge the braking. I think my pedals aren't really calibrated enough for this. A little bit sideways through there. I think what we'll do, we'll return back to the track, garage. Oh, excuse me. Turn back to the garage. Settings. I didn't ask for that. No, I want to go up. Thank you. Stupid thing. Edit. Let's try this. Might be a bit better on the brakes now. What we might do, actually, session information, we'll change the tyres because they're pretty fucked. I keep pressing my buttons. It's been so long since I played an F1 game. Right. Back out we go. We've only got 2.5 minutes left of the session. There's a 40.2. All these new lap times are coming in, and it's been a kind of a weird session. We don't really need the wet session right now. We kind of want to focus on the dry, but as it's meant to be dry throughout the entire weekend. But it's always good just to do more laps anyway, just to kind of get an idea of how this car handles in the wet. I've not really driven it in the wet. Okay, my brakes feel a bit better. The car actually wants to stop now, so that's something. And I think the rest of it is just traction control. I'm not quite brave enough to get rid of it. But I think that's the next thing to work to, is getting rid of the traction control and the ABS over time. I know it's a bit cheating at the minute having them, but it's the only way I feel confident playing this game and giving you a stream anyway. But we'll slowly dwindle them out, and hopefully by the end of the season We're not running traction control, we're not running ABS, we're not running anything. It'll eventually help with my driving in general to help me have a better feel with the car. That is the goal. That's the other reason why we're playing a bit more F2 and F1, is just to understand our feel, trying to get the confidence to turn these things off and get a bit better in general. We have got a dry line appearing. And into turn 1 and 2 we go. Look at that, we've got a little bit more grip, a little bit more control. Yeah, look at that, we're already a second up in the first sector. 4/10 faster than anybody else at the minute, or at least in 9th. And we're 1.3. We didn't go purple. Okay, wrong gear. We should have stayed in 4th. Oh. Checker flag is out, so this will be our one and only lap. We're 2 seconds up on my best at the minute. And we've gone purple middle sector. Oh, we're nearly 3 seconds up here. This is a good lap in the wet. Obviously a lot drier conditions. DRS is now available just as we get to the end. And into the final sector we go. 3 seconds up. We just about kept it in track limits. And again, with 3.3, DRS is going to be available to us. And I think 3.4, that should have been fastest overall. Yep, we finished this Aston fastest. And what a way to end practice. Although it was a wet session, we kind of understood the car a little bit, the levels and limits of kind of track limits as well. So yeah.
Quick look at the classification at the end.
We're at 1 second faster at the end. I have put the AI up, but in the wet, towards the end there, we had like the perfect conditions. So
let's hope for more excitement as the weekend unfolds.
This is current standings at the minute. We are leading by 8 points, but only just. We had a bad round at Jeddah. Carlin, meanwhile, is doing quite well with Logan Sargent up there with us. So let's see how this weekend goes here at Imola. As I said, I do quite like the circuit. I do enjoy it. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on. Into qualifying we go. Sprint and feature format, obviously because of F2s. We've got a dry track that's probably a little bit green from obviously the wet earlier on, so it might be a bit slippy at first. But we shall see how things get on. Right, here we go. We are in park firmware conditions. Now, I'm going to sit with the setup we had. Softs, and let's see what we can do. Remember, we have got track limits on strict. And this is a setup I found on the time trial, so I don't actually know how this thing handles. But we'll give it a go. That's the fun and excitement of it. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button. And if you're watching me on Twitch, give me a follow. Yeah, and let's see you in the comments. I'm looking forward to Imola next week this week for Simplay Motorsport. Not quite got the confidence underneath the Lambo at the minute, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah, as we go out on track. God, the car actually wants to turn now. The problem with this dry session as well is we spent most of the session learning our confidence in the wet. I don't know where my braking zones are in the dry. I'm guessing in the 50 meters, but we're just going to have to adjust and change as we go along. And like I said, learning to try and keep track limits is going to be the other hard bit as well. With it being on strict now, you literally do have to stay within the white lines. So we can abuse the first curve, but I don't think we can abuse the second one. So it's that chicane and the final sector, I think, is where I'm going to struggle with track limits. I might be wrong now. It might be somewhere else. I think we can brake later there. A bit of snap of oversteer, a bit too eager on the power there. We got the DRS open. Now we did a 38 something in practice in the wet, already miles quicker than what we're doing in GT3s. I'll try and get a good run through this sector here. And I think it's the 50 boards we can brake to now. Beyond everything, it's going to be another corner we'll struggle with for track limits. Yeah, I think we can be a bit brave. We're just going to get a banker in. The 28.6 is what they've set as the race, the qualifying pace. Let's see how close we can get. And that chicane also very easy to get it wrong and just go over the limits a little bit too much. We've not gone purple. I think, again, we're just being... Oh, let's see. Can't abuse that curb. Track gone. Lap time gone. They're doing 28 at the minute. Let's see what our first lap would have been if we'd kept it clean. It would have been a 28.8, so we're still a bit off the pace. Iwasa coming out right at the worst time. Right into traffic for him. Turn 2, I thought I abused it a little bit too much there. Oh, keep it in the limits. Abusing too much curb, I think, there. But we're only green in sector 1. And we've gone wide again. Just trying to push too hard again. I'm just not in the limits I need to be. But it's silly the mistakes that we're doing here. So we just need to get a lap time on the board. We would have been 2 tenths faster, which would only just put us 8th. And we don't want to get ourselves another warning towards the end of the lap, because it won't give us the next one. Again, 28.8. We're not really looking too hot here. Much better sector 1. That was much better. He says he's going to mess up Villeneuve. No, Villeneuve was good. It was green, but it wasn't purple. We are low on fuel. I don't think I'm even going to make it to the end. Oh, we will make it to the end. but we just need to get a lap time on the board. The car just understeers off there. And we're going to have to go back to the pits. No lap time on the board. That would have been close to what they've done in the session. Not what we want there. Not the best start. We're just going to have to go out on the same tires again, and I'm just going to skip to the flying lap just to get ourselves keeping that flow. I know obviously try and prepare the tires a bit better. Oh God. That's it, just leave it revving like mad. Last thing we want to do is get ourselves a penalty before we even get started. Right, good run. Let's try and get a lap on the board. We've currently got no lap time. Everyone else does. Let's go. Everyone's in the pits. We've got a clear track ahead. First few corners, good, solid. Not very good on the exit of Vilna, but we take it, but we've gone purple. Now it's the downhill section we're going to struggle with. We've got to make sure we stay within the track limits. Currently half a second up on our best. And that's it, stay away from that outside curve, get a good run through here. Decent. They are going quicker behind us. We have gone green in the middle sector. Right, we're 6/10 up after sector 2 as well. So we're finding improvement, we're finding time, and we're keeping it within the white lines. We're going to get a lap time on the board. Here at Imola. Decent exit. DRS. It gives us a 128.1 that puts us on provisional pole. But they are improving behind us. So we can't force to be safe right now. We're going again. And we've messed up the first sector already. Whoa. Villeneuve was not great. We were just in limits there. We're just losing time now. What is the state of the tyres? They're not great. Oh, rear stepping out in mid-corner. And I'm going to throw this lap away. Just kind of chill out before we do another lap. What I do want to change, actually, while I remember, is... I want to see the full track. That's better. Right. Let's prepare ourselves again for another lap. pushing too hard. Yeah, we're pushing too hard, and I keep thinking that this is an GT3 car and just abusing the curves. I don't really think I could get much more out of it. There probably is more time in it, but we want to keep it interesting, I guess, for the race, and we don't know if these guys are going to improve or not, so we'll see. But we'll go back to the pits and get ourselves ready for the race, because I don't really think I want to abuse it any more than that. I want to save, I would say save these tyres, but you know, we're probably not going to use them. Another warning, because the car just won't stop. How much left of the session is there? 12 minutes. We took pole by 3,000. I'm not going to go out again. I don't really see much point. It's sector 2 that we're struggling. Sector 1 and 3 we were good, but it's sector 2, 3,000th. Right, qualifying over. Are we on pole?
Wind down from the
Just
qualifying, here's a look at your top 3. Davies, Williams, and Teo
by
Pourchaire.
3,000ths of a
Qualifying
second.
complete, all that remains is the main event. Will be
We gained 2 points, which is good for qualifying. And now we head into the sprint. 25 laps. Let's go.
Welcome to all those joining us as we kick off another round of thrilling Formula 2 racing at Imola. It's 3.1 miles around Imola with 19 turns to master, 9 right-handers and 10 left. And note as well that Imola is one of the few tracks that's driven anti-clockwise. Keep an eye on the exit from turn 18. A good exit there leading into the circuit's only DRS zone will probably be the setup for some of today's best overtaking opportunities. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Don't know what that camera guy was doing then.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
We're going to stick with the medium tyres. There's no point to pit unless we get a safety car. But again, we don't really need to, so we'll just stick with the mediums.
Okay, so let's go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
So to those who obviously don't know F2, obviously with Formula 1 they do have sometimes a sprint and a feature race, but in F2 the whole season is sprint and feature. And obviously due to the sprint, it is the top 10 will be reversed based on qualifying for the sprint. So obviously we were put on pole position, So we will start 10th in this race. Into the feature race. We will obviously start from pole position, and obviously a lot longer race. We are looking to stay on the mediums. You don't have to pit in this session. You can pit if you wish to. I believe you can't pit under safety car though. I believe you can't pit under a virtual safety car or a normal safety car. I think that caught me out when we were at Jeddah on Simplay Motorsport. I pitted for the tyres and everyone else was on old ones, and yeah, I got done. But what do you guys think? Where do we think we're going to finish? Obviously 10th on the grid. Where do we think we're going to finish? We had a pretty poor Jeddah. We got to be careful with track limits. We seem to have cut a load in practice. So let me hear you in the chat. Where do we think we're going to finish for the Imola Grand Prix? Or the sprint? 25 laps. Perfect.
There, mate.
Right.
Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Let's go.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for that.
Round 3 of the season. Imola sprint race. Where are we going to finish? We're starting 10th. Oh, one car just did not get going. That was a Wassa. We've gone with the Williams driver. Porsche has also had a poor start. We're on the outside of Tamburello. We've got a car to our inside. And already we've made 4 places from the start, so that's a very decent start. And we've got to be careful with the track limits. That's what's going to hurt us, I think, in this race. And we're already pulling away from Vesti. We're kind of in no man's land at the minute, but we've had a decent start. A reminder, we've got to stay in those white lines. And I think this is where it's going to hurt us. Exit's not too bad, it's going down into the braking zone is the problem for us. Into the chicane we go. I think the chicane's also going to be where we will struggle. So now we're on to Drogovic. We're going to pick them off one by one. If we can get to the front, awesome. But I think we might struggle with tyre wear because we've got quite an aggressive setup. But we'll see how we get on. Into the final sector we go. And that's lap 1 done. No warning so far. So decent start. And they're all jostling ahead. And there's our first warning. Already pushing our limits. I'm just struggling with understeer a little bit. Probably the dirty air of the cars ahead. And that's allowing Vesti just to creep onto the back of us once again as we head up towards turn. Into the second sector we go. Oh, there is stepping out a little bit there. A little bit too eager on the power. They don't seem very good on the exit through this sector, so possibly something we keep an eye on later on to try and maybe gain an advantage. Oh, might have pushed the limits there. We got away with it. Hopefully DRS will help us out in a minute. Marcus Armstrong does go fastest. We'll have DRS down the main straight. And track limits once again, and we're just messing up sector 1 now. We need to stop these track limits or else we're going to be in trouble. And the car just not responding the way I want to right now. It's just being a bit lazy. Yeah, I think we're just pushing our luck through the first sector a little bit. Everywhere else we seem okay, it's just the first sector. We don't want to do it a third time. We've got DRS now, but we are going to be in a bit of a DRS train. 31.8, we're doing 32.6. We did have a moment earlier on. So it's exit and entry. We just got to worry about with the first corner, but everywhere else we seem okay. Oh, we got a yellow flag. We have gone purple sector 1 now. And that's Theo Porcher. He is out of this race. Will that release a safety car? Don't think it will. Currently off the racing line, I think, so probably won't do anything.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go
there we go.
Finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head
Abusing
down,
the limits. One too many times. The thing is, I barely went over the white line, and it was... It is what it is. So 31.8 is what they were doing. We did a 31.9. The guys in front seem a little bit slow at the minute. Oh God! Big moment there. Again, we've just lost some pace again. Just as soon as we get a 3 seconds penalty, we just seem to just be a little bit too cautious now. We don't want any more penalties like that. And I get a warning straight after. Fucking brilliant. Okay, Drogovic has had a pretty poor run here, so we're going to look to try and make a move. Short shift a little bit early so we can get a better run down here later on the brakes. It gives us the room.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
That was horrible understeer, so Drogovic and I probably just lost a shitload of time. He's going to get a lovely toe off of me, though. Yeah, here he comes, here he comes. So we'll just have to defend the inside. To the outside he goes. It's the outside we forced him to go. We've gone deep into turn 1. Oh, but we managed to maintain the position. I see the Gaming Watchman 5 in the chat. Dinner done. How's it going? We got a 3-second time penalty. Fantastic. So just pushing the limits too much. And Drogovic is still there. He's really giving us the hurry up at the minute. This sector, we seem so much stronger through that corner. Armstrong's really holding everyone up at the minute. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that follow button on my Twitch account. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Oh, a bit leery on exit. We have dropped Drogovic though, and we caught this pack of 4 up ahead. Doing consistent 31.9s. And again, this is just going to teach me to keep the limits within Simplay Motorsport this week. In the Lamborghini. And again, I need to start learning to feather that throttle nicely. Drogovic caught us back up again in the hairpin. Oh, God. Nice and smooth. Right, this is our opportunity earlier with Drogovic. We're on the back of Holger. Not really close enough to really mount an attack there. And just a poor exit, so that's not really worked either. So we will get the DRS. He'll get a DRS as well, but it's kind of just one-on, just fighting against DRS, and it's not really going to work. We're not going to get any closer. We're just abusing the curbs too much. And the rear is not happy. Already the rears are hurting. How long we got left? We've still got several laps to go. Like I said, we're not expecting a pit stop in this race. Drogovic just caught us back up again. Oh, Hauger's had a honker of a run through there. And that was what I was trying to avoid by not attacking him. But we've turned it into an attack now. We're going to go around the outside so we can have the inside for the corner. And again, understeer City's just pushing us both wide. We go ahead of Hauger, but we've lost the ground to the guys in front. They're now doing 31.7s.
The gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
We're gonna have to go the long way around. And that's a much better first couple of corners. It's so good. We've gone purple first sector. And we're slowly building that gap to Hauger. We need to get back to these guys or at least within a second before the next DRS zone, so we can have a chance of staying ahead against these guys behind us. Again, this sector is where they lose all their time. Don't abuse the curbs. And we dropped Hauger, we're on to Vips now. Next target. Into the DRS zone we go. And we go at 31.1, so we are much faster than everyone else. Oh, the rear is stepping out again. We just get a little bit too eager once we get onto the back of cars. So back onto the back of Vips. And again, we're not gonna quite have the advantage down the main straight because he'll have that DRS, as will Sato. It's Armstrong who's really under pressure here.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
So we're on lap 11, got a few to go. Again, I keep thinking I'm in a GT3 car. I don't want to abuse the curbs too much. Actually gained a little bit of time that time through the hairpin. They look like they pulled away, but we've actually stuck with them. Right in the slipstream of Vips. And again, we're not quite enough of an advantage. Sato, meanwhile, is really pressurizing Armstrong. Could this cause absolute carnage in a bit? I think we're touching that inside curb way too much. That's really affecting our run. Look, we're just losing time hand over fist. Sato's going for the move on Armstrong now. He's on the wrong side of the road, but if he could brake later, he'll get the job done. Oh, they're still going at it. But Armstrong hangs in there. Vips is looking to try and make a move on Sato now. We're not really going to capitalize on anything here. Oh, a great little scrap between the two in front. I think Sato's starting to get frustrated behind Armstrong. The only reason I'm starting to get the hurry up is because I got that 3-second penalty hanging overhead, and at the minute Hauger and Dragovic will be ahead of us. So kind of giving the Vips the hurry up to kind of, come on lad, let's go. Got 3 seconds over our head. Oh no, 6 seconds now. Again, barely off the track. This game really does spank you for track limits. So now we've got to make a 6-second gap. Which I do think a lot of the time is a load of rubbish, because you can see most of the F1 guys on this game who play this game do abuse track limits quite a bit, but I guess they've learned where they can or can't, I guess, around, especially Imola. But that is a bit, you know, come on. I had a moment and you... Do think that was a little bit unfair, but you know, can't argue with the stewards. Right on the back of Vips again. Come on, let's find a way through. As long as we finish.
The gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
Yellow flag, what for? Oh, it's Armstrong. He's blown an engine. That's released us. Oh, that's really thrown my rhythm out a little bit. Nearly got another penalty. So now Sato leads from Vips from me. We'll see after the end. Fury's granddad. We're not salty just yet. Oh God. We're at 14 or 25. We've only got a handful of laps to go. Just not happy. We need to clear Vips, clear Sato, and try and build a 6-second gap if we can do it. But I haven't got much long to do it, but the problem is I might push the limits too much again. Right, we're right on the rear wing of Vips. We ain't gonna get a safety car, so that's good. I don't want a safety car. We got right onto the back of Vips there, a bit too close, I think.
Okay, no issues with the tyre wear for now.
Oh, there's another warning. I knew when I went in a little bit too deep in there, we were going to get a warning. We can't do that again. And we've just gone and done it again. 9 fucking seconds. Fuck me. I really do hate the strict limits on this. It is ridiculous. But, you know, We're not going to win this race for sure. We'll keep fastest lap, but we need to build a big gap now, and we need to clear these two ASAP. Oh, understeer is just pushing my car wide and just wants me to go off track. Oh, Vips has had a moment. Vips has had a moment. He's going defensive. Oh, just keep it within limits. Fucking hell. So do we. I bet you would love me getting salty. Right. We've actually got a run on Vips here. Oh, we've got him, and we've just squeezed in between the gap between Sato and Vips.
Okay,
Oh.
good work. Great pass.
Oh, the rear don't like that. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I thought that was a pretty good move, to be fair. The Vips is right up my shaft. We've got 9 seconds worth of penalties that we can finish on the podium if we clear Sato quickly. We've got to stay in the DRS zone though. And there's the detection point. We're just going to stay in it. Come on. DRS. Vips is nowhere near us.
The gap to your teammate behind is 8.1 seconds.
I don't even know where Sergeant is. That's 8.1. I just know that, which means we'll finish behind him wherever he is on track. Oh, the rear does not like that corner. And we're just losing time to Sato through there. Vips is right behind us. That's the first time we've messed that corner up. Vips has just disappeared. Made a right mess of that chicane, and we're not even in the DRS zone for Sato. So I'll be amazed if we finish anywhere decent now. Oh, no, 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 no. This car is driving so shit. 33.5. What is the tyre situation? I don't think we're going to catch Sato in this. We're just abusing track limits a little bit too much. The rear is not happy whatsoever. Another mistake again, just the car just not wanting to do what I thought it was going to do. Come on, car, let's get you together. We have got 9 seconds. We're not going to finish on the podium at this rate because we've just not got the grip and confidence. We need to get back into that groove. And remember, we're not in a GT3 car, we're in a Formula 2 car. So it does not like curbs. Exit curbs we can get away with to a degree.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Jesus! Oh, we've had a bump by Vips. Oh, fuck you, Vips. Fuck you, man. What a dickhead. We're not even going to finish in the top 10 now. What an asshole, just pushing me wide like that. Dickhead. Well, we can throw this sprint race away. I don't even think we'll get a point for the fastest lap now we're outside the top 10. I don't think that last one was very fair. Vips pushed us off track. My throttle is not working properly. My foot is hard to the floor. Must be the traction control. Oh, the rear again. What is wrong with you, car? You gonna do something stupid again, Vips? No, thought as much. Oh, fuck off. Wasn't over the white line. You can see where I'm going to get salty now is with the fucking stupid trap penalties. Dickheads. Just got. Where is that throttle going?
Being due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Down the main straight, I've got no throttle response for some fucking reason. Oh, my foot is hard to the floor as well through there. need to drop Vips. He's still within that second gap. Yeah, I know my tyres are fucked. Sato's going to win this one. I'm hoping Vips just holds everyone up. But he's getting DRS off of me.
Okay, you're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Let's keep pushing.
Even me trying to go for the soft option is just... I've got no grip, no nothing now. I've got no defense if he does get DRS and gets close. Oh, fuck you. Trying to stay within track limit so I don't get 15 seconds and it's just ruined that whole sector. I do like him, and it's one of my favourite circuits, but I cannot drive it for shit. See, again, trying to be gentle on the throttle, and it's not happening. I'm going to suddenly lose power for some reason. No, I've actually kept it this time. And here comes Vips with his DRS. Jesus, the rear is just ridiculous through there. Oh. Oh God. We're still not happy. I'm not going to be on the podium, not even going to be in the top 10, I don't think. Because of these stupid fucking penalties, man. State of these tyres, they are fucked. We're gonna go deep. Nope. Ooh. Sato's gonna win this one.
Push, push.
Oh, Vips hanged on against Dragovic there. Be interested to see where we finish after these bullshit penalty. And this is why I wanted some dry running so I could see where the limits were. We pulled away from these two in the end, but it's no use. It's going to be Sato who's going to win this one, but we've gained 12 seconds worth of penalties from cutting corners, and I don't really think we were cutting corners. Oh, God. Where do we finish in the end?
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Park Fermé.
13th. We didn't even get fastest up. I don't know what Sato's doing. Logan Sargent, driver of the day. What an asshole.
That's it for another race and a fan. And here are our podium drivers today after that.
Track limits, man.
So then, it's
There's
time to
still a
see
joke
how
on this
result
game.
affects the Drivers' Championship. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Let's give it
So,
to Marino Sato.
it's brought it down to 4 points, so,
Start to finish.
yeah.
I can be proud of that one.
On to the team.
I'm trying to see where our limits really were. See, we're fine through there. Fine through there. And but we're just within limits, like, I think that's a bit unfair. Oh well. We go to the feature race, we're on pole position, so yeah, we'll just have to be a bit more cautious with the limits, or just make sure we make enough of a gap that we just disappear. 35 minutes, 35 laps.
Welcome back to Imola. We get ready for another glorious day of Formula 2 action.
It's a lot hotter, so that's a better thing as well. More grip.
Imola's unusual in that it runs anti-clockwise, taking in 19 turns along its 3.1 miles of tarmac. 9 of those are right-handers, with the remaining 10 as left-handers. Now, the F2 drivers here today need to keep in mind the elevation. Pay attention to turn 7. A slow exit from here will lose a driver a lot of time as they struggle to accelerate uphill. Here are the starting positions for today's race. Davies lines up on pole position, and it's Callan Williams in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Porcher, Awasa, Frederick Vesti, and Drugovic, Hauger, Vips, Sato, Marcus Armstrong, Hughes, Calderon, Ollie Caldwell, Jack Doohan, Sargent, Cordial, Novalak, Enzo Fittipaldi, Deruvala, Boschong, Nissani, and Richard Verschoor completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Able to control our nerves. Well, let's see if we can do that. We start on pole. Looks like we're on a medium tyre. I'm not sure if that's what we want to do. I might go to the super softs and start on them, and then be aggressive at the start, pull the gap that we need to pull, and then from there we just extend the gap as much as we possibly can, just in case we get a penalty. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And if you follow me on Twitch, then hit the follow in the links below in both my channels. There's also my Instagram page, my Twitter page. You could call it Twitter anymore, or X, whatever the fuck it's called now. This strategy looks fantastic. We're going to stick with the medium tire then, because this looks stupid. Can we edit it? Right, okay. This is dumb. We'll stay on the medium, but we'll just go extremely long. Fucking stupid that is. Yeah, so you haven't done so. If you have a look in the link as well, there's a donation page as well if you would like to donate to my channel and help me improve my streams as much as I possibly can. Try to give you as much action as I possibly can. And yeah, let's get this feature race underway.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears.
Are you serious? We're on old mediums.
We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
Are we on old mediums? So we have to do that strategy anyway. What the actual fuck? The F2 strategies are stupid, man. Seriously? What the fuck? Well, if they're old ones, we might just abuse the shit out of them then. What a stupid game. We don't have any mediums. Oh, this game is dumb, man. This game is dumb. We have no tyres left. I haven't used any mediums at all. Another stupid thing about F2 and Formula 1 in general. The Gaming Workshop 5 and PN have all leveled up. And Fury's granddad as well, all of you guys have leveled up.
Okay, incredible park.
Oh, this is going to be messy. I'm not going to enjoy this.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Let's do this on old mediums. Look at the state of them. I have no grip, nothing at all. Wow. Thanks, Formula. Thanks, F123. It's fucking... What the fuck is this shit? I'm literally just gonna have to box now. What the fuck? If I get a puncher between now and the pit stop, I'm gonna be pissed. I've got no grip, no turning. I'm gonna probably get my first warning in a minute. They're too busy fighting behind, which is good. None of us have got any grip or pace. Great strategy call. Fantabby Toesy. And half of us are in the pits. Fantastic. Love this game. And now we're going to get stuck in the pits.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
We've actually pulled a gap. What a stupid strategy. Okay, whatever.
Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy.
And we got some really nice tyres. Super softs. And we're just going to end up reeling these guys in super quickly. We've got grip, we got pace. And they're all on old mediums. Yeah, poor chair though. Blistering lap time now.
Okay, Logan's in the pits. Logan in the pits now.
We pulled the gap as well. DRS is now enabled. We've gone purple, middle and final. And look at that. Way out in front of those guys as well. Let's look after these super softs. Because I have a fear we've got to go to used. Yes, we do. So I'm not going to abuse these too much. I'm just going to look after them, nurse them. And it might help us stay within track limits as well. Because we've got a healthy gap. It's Drogovic who's behind us. And he's 2.7. He was right behind us at the start. So we'll just look after, nurse these tyres. And then just adjust the strategy as we go along. Porsche is the one I'm going to be worried about. He goes fastest with a 33.0. But with all of us on the super softs, that's not going to be a lot for him, really. And we're pulling away from Drogovic. So all good so far, as long as we don't abuse the track limits. And get a 12-second fucking penalty again. And we are back up into sit. And look at that, 31, they're doing 33, zeros, and we're into the 30s. Don't think that strategy's working for you, Porsche. Oh. Went a little bit too deep into turn one. Somehow salvaged it. Oh, again, just too much curb. We're just abusing the car a little bit too much than we need to right now. Everyone's had to do the same strategy because of this stupid game. So nurse these tyres in nice and gently. How the hell was that not limits? I don't know. The other two, meanwhile, Armstrong and Pourchaire, staying out. Interesting choice. Maybe their mediums aren't as abused as the rest of us. Oh, of course, Armstrong blew up in the race, so he's able to push that stint further. Ah, shit. Yeah, Armstrong car blew up.
Teammate by 10.9 seconds.
I think Pourchaire's blew up as well, so these guys might not have to pit again because their cars blew up. So their mediums haven't had that long a running on them. Wow. So we might actually have to pick the pace up a little bit and bring the gap down to those two because they've got lot longer lasting mediums than the rest of us. Fucking can't talk tonight. What's wrong with me? But we have got to keep an eye on those track limits. If we abuse the track limits at all, we're fucked. We are faster in the middle set. We did not obviously get the fastest lap last race out because due to the being outside the top 10 and the stupid 10-second penalty. I don't seem to have much luck in sprints in any form of championship, in F2 or in GT3s, but you know. So back in the 39s. We are bringing the gap down to the leaders, but I don't know how far they can go with those mediums. Pourchaire could probably go the furthest because I think his car blew up really early on in the race, in the sprint race. So we do have to maintain that speed and gap. Plus they'll be on the super softs anyway. Talk about give the advantage to the blown up cars, Jesus. Right, 29 laps to go. Let's bring the gap down as much as we possibly can. Five seconds to the guys behind, 27 to Pourchaire. That's really the gap we need to focus on. Because he might just one-stop it. All of us have to do a stupid two-stop. And that's the penalty for finishing races. Just these clearer conditions just needs to make my car a bit better, and these super softs help as well. When does the strategy reckon we need to pit? 22 to 23. God, that's still a fair way to go on these tyres. I want to try and go further than that if I can, just because of the like used set that we have to put on. Oh. Funny enough, it's not the not the tyre wear that bothers me now, it's the track limits. Trying so hard not to go off. How does that not track limits? I don't get that. Use the first one, not the second. Theo Pourchaire. Whoa. What a strategy if this works. Armstrong's not got the pace. He's a lot slower.
Armstrong up ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 18.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:34.2. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap.
Jesus. That's the tyre advantage we have over Armstrong. But even the strategist reckons that they're only stopping once.
You're currently in P3. Okay, Armstrong's ahead of you now. Our gap to the car in front is 16.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. That's Drogovic behind. Okay, the gap behind is 7.4 seconds. And they're on old super softs. Okay, gap to leader, 24.0 seconds. Okay, 28 laps to go.
We got a lot of work to do. We've dropped the rest of them. I just know that those two will just one stop now. And instead Vantage AI. They'll be on the super softs as well, so they'll be matching us. We've got to use this time to bring that gap down. And the second we get a yellow flag, they might pit. And that might give them a safety car opportunity. Safety car happens, that's ruined our race. Armstrong, I'm not too worried about. Look, he's going into turn one just as we go across the start-finish line. So we're bringing the gap down to Armstrong. It's Pourchaire who's keeping that gap. I mean, he's not blisteringly quick, but
you got to your teammate behind is 16.1 seconds.
Ah, fuck Sergeant, he's a prick. We just had a big moment through turn 2 and 3, sorry. The second our tyres start to die, Pourchaire will then be back into a level playing field. We need to use the advantage while we can, but I got pretty fucked super softs as well, so it's not going to be really a fight that I can really go against. That's why we've got to use this time well. Ugh. They're all too busy squabbling behind, and we've just fucked off, basically. Look how much a difference the race makes with no cars in the way, different tyres, hotter conditions. My car seems a lot better. That's the state my super softs were in last time. We got our first warning. To be fair, I was a little bit sloppy through there. Oh, when did these two pit? Armstrong's got to be soon. And they're going to have fresh new super softs as well. This race is going to go from us because of the stupid blow-ups that they've had. But I didn't have another set of new mediums. I don't understand why that wasn't. Don't get it. Right, we can see Armstrong, but poor chair is gone. Oh, another limits. We're getting them in different places again. Just as the tyres start to go. The handy thing is, with the new tyres that we've had on board and against the cars around us, we've been able to keep extending the gap, so we can possibly get them towards the end. But poor chair is going to be on a better tyre. And it won't be a level playing field. His will be many more laps younger. Oh God, this game, man. It doesn't punish you one way, it punishes you another. Oh, rear's gone again.
Okay,
there we go, fuck you.
You're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate.
Fuck you, game. We've been squeaky clean up to that point. We can get DRS from Armstrong, gain that gap a little bit on Porsche. Once again, we've got to start extending the gap even more. Would have been nice if Armstrong came straight into the pits there.
The car ahead's losing 2 seconds a lap to you. Good job.
And around the outside of Armstrong, not wasting any time with him, because we need to get that gap down to Porsche.
That's Porsche just ahead. Come on, let's get him. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 12.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 33.1.
One minute 33.1, so he's about a second and a half slower than us. Armstrong finally pits. We've gone deep into turn one. I think because Porsche is so out of sync, he might end up in that squabble of cars. Yeah, he will. So Armstrong comes out. So that might help us. Porsche is going to end up in the pack. Because of the nature of the longer pit stop of F2. We don't really need to push there. Why are we pushing the limits there? Because we know we're quicker just in general. Come on. Window that gap down. Bit by bit.
Shares ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 11.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:33.9. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
It's going to be close towards the end. To be fair, the longer the Porsche stays out, the more and more likely chance it's going to end up in this squabble of cars. We'll end up having track position until they all start pitting. So we're not looking horrendously bad at the minute. We're looking okay. It's the track limits is gonna fucking screw us. I've had a terrible lap here. Not made any inroads on him this lap. Probably only made 1.2 on him. It's not a normal F1 pit stop they're having. It's an F2 pit stop, which is longer. Armstrong with the clean air. Porsche has got to be seeing that and going, right, pit stop time. That's what I'd be doing anyway. So I've now brought the gap down within 10 seconds, so Porsche is going to be losing time from now on. Porsche is in. Right, we need to pump in some demon lap times now. Porsche's really going to be in the middle of that
Really
group.
well done. That's first. P1.
Yeah, Porsche's right in the middle of that squabble. So he's going to have a couple of laps of clean air, or maybe a lap or two, but that's it. He's not going to have many more than that. He's got to catch the pack and then get through them. And if we're not planning to stop till 22 or 23, we still got a bit to go yet. This still might go in our favour. Like I said, he's got to get through that pack. We can't keep doing stupid shit like that. We still got to keep the pace up. Porsche's right on the back of that squabble. But the thing is, as soon as those guys pit, he'll be released to do fast laps. Could be a close end to the race. He's going to have very worn super softs, so I'm going to have dead super softs. I'll base my pit stop based on what these guys are going to be doing behind. As soon as I see the chance that Porsche has gone into some clean air, then we might have to pit and react quite quickly.
Okay, we're approaching the pit window and we're going to put you onto super softs. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 27.1 seconds.
Okay, we're coming up to the pit window now. We've still got that 3 seconds lingering over our head. We will not serve that in the pit lane because I don't think it does. Is there an option to do it? No, not particularly. We are really racing Porsche at the minute. I just keep an eye on the tables to see where he is. And I think he's starting to clear some traffic, but not very quickly. With all of them still racing against Dragovic. We need to get in and out pretty quickly. I still don't think we've got this. I think Dragovic being, oh not Dragovic, Porsche, with him blowing up in the race, it's going to be even cars. With him having those fresher mediums, it's hurt us in this race. Oh, he's in that pack actually. I've just seen him. He's in the second pack. I thought he was in the first pack, but he's not. He's in the second pack. So actually, we might be okay. But again, I'm going to wait till everyone else pits, and as soon as they start pitting, boom. We've already had a car in already. We are starting to lose grip on the front because the braking is starting to become a little bit shit. Got
Okay,
no power again.
Open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
We're going to extend it, I think, just a little bit more. Oh! As soon as I say that, I run wide. I think we are going to just push it a little bit further.
Okay, those tyres are going to fall off the cliff soon. Take extreme care.
Or do we? Oh, he's still in that traffic, so... Nah, these are gone. These are gone. This is the only strategy we have, I think. And we got a 5-second time penalty because this fucking thing won't stop. Fantastic. What a shit game.
Right, let's go. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Here comes Porsche. We're not going to get him. We're not going to get him. He's going to be stuck in traffic. Look at that. Fucking ridiculous. Fuck's sake, man. And we got 8 seconds on top.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
See, we didn't even beat Armstrong. So Armstrong's even ahead of us. Armstrong's in a fight. We're going to catch him, but... I've got to catch and pass Armstrong and Porsche and then build an 8-second gap.
Logan's coming in for his stop now.
Oh, this is going to be a 5 seconds is the gap. The advantage is having your engine blown up on you. Yeah, and they got fresher tyres. I'm not gaining. They got fresher tyres. Not gonna happen. Theo Pocher, 29.9, man. And we only do a 30.8. Yeah, we're not getting them. We're going to have to settle for third here. We could possibly get Armstrong, I think. But even our rears are gone. Look, I've got no fight left in the car. No. Unless these two suddenly have to pit, this ain't happening. For some reason, I am not getting full deployment. I don't know if it's my wheel, I don't know if it's the traction control. Another race win, goodbye. The lucky thing is we've got the gap to the cars behind. Even if they get within a couple more seconds, we've got that 8-second penalty. We got that buffer, but what a joke. You work your ass off into the sprint to then be struggling so much in the feature. I really do hope suddenly they just have to pit out of nowhere. Armstrong is more than likely to pit, but why would you? We are sticking to Armstrong, but Porsche is just pulling away. I think I'm just matching Porsche now with only less than 10 laps to go. $30.8, but we're not gaining anything. We're gaining on Armstrong, but that is it. We've actually probably got more similar tyres than us with Porsche. What a weird race. We've driven our asses off. We've stayed in the somewhat of the white lines.
Gap to your teammate behind is 31.9 seconds.
Oh, fuck me. When it rains, it fucking pours at Imola. Now we need to make sure we don't lose out to the guys behind again. We need to finish on the fucking podium. After all this shit. I mean, I'm doing 130.8s consistently. Why can't ACC see how good I am at fucking consistency? Fucking shit game. Trying to get that 99 rating on consistency without doing it the cheating way of fucking putting the limiter on. Oh. I think we will still lead, I think. Extending track limits. Yeah, I know, mate, but the fucking white lines are bullshit.
Catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
Come on. Just keep that 11-second gap. The handy thing for me is the guys are fighting. That's what's keeping me. Within these track limits is starting to piss me off. But we caught Armstrong, but this is going to be a pointless fight. We've got DRS to help us maintain away from that gap. But more reason for us to fuck up. This is where both of them suddenly pit.
Dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done.
That was all from the DRS though.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Not really going to make 11 seconds in 5 laps, but you know. It's nice to know that we finished twice on the road in second after some bullshit penalties. And even with DRS, it was only a 30.9.
Pourchaire is ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 8.3 seconds. And they're on old super softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 31.1. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
1/10 a lap.
Armstrong's behind. Less than a second separates you. And they're on old super softs. Their tyres are 16 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:32.5.
I mean, we are pulling away from Armstrong, but it's that final sector, man. Oh, fuck off. You end up losing time rather than... Oh, fuck off. Fucking track limits my fucking ass. I lost time rather than gained. It's just bullshit. It's fucking shitty track limits. Oh look, second a lap slower. Track limits are shit on this game. Fucking shit. Although I've lost time, been stuck on a curb, I've been dragged out to the white line. Apparently I've gained an advantage. Bullshit. Luckily, because the way the race has panned out, we should stay on the podium, which again is bullshit. We should be second, but the way the tyres have worked out and the way the strategy's fallen, because they've had a blow up and we weren't allowed to change our strategy, the strategy we were stuck with, I might sack someone from Carlin because that strategy is fucking shit. Like, yeah, we'll use the fucked mediums that you've just used and we'll start you on the race on them. In what mind would you do that? Why have we not got another set of mediums? We used wets as well. I would just love to see Pourchaire and Armstrong both come in but it's not going to happen. We've driven faultlessly, and it's going to bite us in the bum. Fuck you! Where would that put us? 17 seconds if we got another track limits.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Yeah, for a fucking podium. My tyres are fucked as well now. I don't even know how old these are. They're fucking old, I know that. Oh shit.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
That's not what I asked. I asked for the tyre status. I want to know how old they are.
Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Are you dick? Bullshit win for Theo Pourchaire, but you know. We'll get third, surely.
Yes, mate, I cannot complain about that one. That was an excellent drive. Well done.
I can fucking complain. Ah. What a joke.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for ART today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way.
They managed not to have fucking track limits.
An amazing race today and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car. It works for them and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today.
Oh. Not good. We should have had really 2 seconds, but the bullshit pit lane, for starters, I can't stop any harder, and I braked so much earlier than I should have. Yeah, fucking shit, basically.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table.
Overall, we scored 4 points. We increase
who would you say was your
standings.
today?
We're 7 points ahead of Drogovic, so okay. Well, Theo Pourchaire was quite far down, so we have extended the gap. We had a decent start. The rest didn't. We just fucked off at that point. Williams was behind us. There is Pourchaire. He's in third. So he's already got a decent start. Armstrong's got a decent start as well. There's me hunting down Armstrong. It's going to show me my beautiful move around the outside. Or not, probably. It's no in this game. Oh, here we go. DRS. To the outside. Wasting no time. Got on the brakes. And we got the job done. Oh, beautiful shot right there. Oh, bit of twitch on the exit. But I was having struggles there the whole race. Lap 28. Once again, I've caught Armstrong. I think I spent more time chasing Armstrong down than I did anything else. And I didn't even finish ahead of him. Because of these bullshit penalties. Towards the chicane. Oh! Properly sideways going through there. Oh, lap 30. I still haven't lapped past him. Oh, this is where I got him. Through the chicane. He has a moment. He's just very slow. Better run, better exit, into the chicane. Bob's your uncle. And then home for a bullshit second place in the end. We do extend the championship lead. Drogovic does score points, but not nearly as much as he should have. And that is that. That is it. Oh, now we got bullshit Catalonia next. Oh. You got rain for qualifying. The sprint's dry and the feature's dry. So, yeah. Well, thank you all guys for watching. It's been a pleasure once again. I hope you're enjoying this F2 series. It's really testing me, especially now the strict limits put in place. I'm still quite happy where the AI level is at the minute. I think we just had a bit of bad luck at Imola, just pushing the limits too far, which I do think most of it was bullshit. But next time out, you'll see me live is on Thursday night. Make sure you tune in live on Zip Play Motorsport for Wednesday night as I bring you the commentary action there. But you will see me next in my stream on Thursday night as we will go back to Imola once again, but we're in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo 2, trying to extend our championship lead in the Simplay Motorsport Championship. We will be starting 30th on the grid, dead last for the sprint race, which is at the back. And yeah, we will see how things get on. We're going to try and keep our nose clean, stay out of trouble, and try and score some decent points. I don't give a flying fuck about Nash, Matt. But that's the guy we've got to try and beat. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Thursday night. And like I said, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're following me on Twitch, hit that follow button. And in the description below is all the information you need to know about all my social media and a donate button as well. But that is it here from Imola. We will catch you in a few days' time at Imola once again for the next race of the season for the Simplay Motorsport Championship. But from me and everybody else here, can I get a hi? And I will see you all later.